Birshut Mora Berbatai, we are up to Perek Yud Bet in Shoftim, the last Perek about Yiftach Giladi. Perek Yud Aleph was the story of Yiftach Giladi and his war with Bnei Ammon. And the end of it was this tragic story of his daughter that he had to, according to some Mefarshim, was a machloket Rishonim, what he did to her, either sacrifice or just send her in the mountains to be abandoned, or alone in the mountains in a house. Okay, so now that he's coming back from war and everything is settled, what happened? Unfortunately, we're going to see a civil war happening. What happened? Vayis'ak ish Ephraim vayavor Safona. The people of Ephraim, they gathered their army, right? Vayis'ak is to mobilize the army, and they came to north. Vayamru le'iftach מדוע עברת להילחם בבני עמון ולנו לא קראת ללכת עמך. Right? They said to him, why did you go and fight with Bnei Ammon and you didn't call us? Sounds familiar?
Devorah, right?
No, with Gilad, the same thing they did to Gidon. The same thing they did with Gidon. Yeah. Gidon went after the fight, they came and told him, oh, why didn't you come and tell us, call us? And they were fighting with Gidon too. But over there, what happened? Gidon had a special anava. They said, okay, you guys are right, you are the best, I'm not nobody, you did it. At least over there, they killed their kings, so they had something to tell them. Oh, everything was you did the final blow, you killed okay, they calmed them down, they went back. But here, what did they tell him? They tell him, you didn't call us, we're going to burn you in your house in the fire, with you in it, alecha. Right? This is Moreh B'Malchut already. Right? So, now we see why Yiftach decides to go war with them, because it's what? They already Moreh B'Malchut, saying such a thing to the king. This is the king. He was their shofet. They appointed him as a rosh to be their king. So question is, why Bnei Ephraim are getting so angry? They came to Gidon. Why didn't you call us? They coming to Yiftach. Why didn't you call us? What's their problem, right? So Malvin explains very nicely. Gidon and Yiftach, they both had one thing in common. They were both from Sheven Menashe. Gilad was part of Menashe, right? Both of them were from Shevet Menashe. And now you see why Ephraim is getting angry. Oh, you guys want to be shofet? We should be the leaders.
So wait, Gidon himself was from Ephraim?
Yeah.
Yiftach too?
Yiftach Giladi, yes.
He was from Ephraim?
Gilad is part of Ephraim, yes.
Oh,
sorry, part of Menashe, not Ephraim. Oh. Menashe. Gidon and Yiftach, they were both from Menashe. Right?
Gidon and Yiftach.
Here, I wrote here. Menashe. How do we know? Because Gilad was the land that was given to Menashe. And about Gidon, it says clearly that it was from Menashe. So the Ephraim, they come and say that, tell him what? We have to be leaders. We are the ones. Why? Parashat Vayechi. Remember when Yaakov wanted to bless the Ephraim and Menashe? What did he do? He put his hands on Ephraim, right? He put his hand on Ephraim first. So he said, we are greater, we are the real sons of Yosef. You guys are coming and becoming leaders. Basically, they're saying, we are real sons of Yosef. That's why they're getting angry. They're coming and saying, you step aside, we should have been here. We should have gone to war. Okay? Vayomer iftach alehem, now iftach has 3 ta'anot on them. Right? 3 answers. Ish riv haiti ani ve'ami ubnei Ammon. First of all, me and my nation were in fight with Bnei Ammon. That means what? They came, Bnei Ammon came where? They came to Gilad. Their first stop was Gilad. They were attacking Gilad. So who has to get involved? Me. It was my nation, my tribe, my property, my town, Gilad. So that was the first ta'anah, the first answer to them. Ubnei Ammon me'ot. We were hating each other a lot. Okay, we were fighting. Ve'ez'ak etchem belo she'atem motim miyadam. I already called for your help and you guys didn't do anything.
When?
It doesn't say when, but I did call for you, probably at the beginning, before Yiftach decided to go to war with them. And you guys didn't save us from their hands. So why are you telling me we didn't call you? We did call you. Okay. So that was his second answer to them. Now the third answer, Ve'ere ki enecha Moshiach, and I saw that you don't save me. That means even if you wanted to save me, you couldn't do it. Basically calling them weak. You guys couldn't do it without me. How could you say? Okay. Va'asima nafshi bekapi, and look at that. I put my hands in my hand, my life in my hand. I'm risking my life. Ve'evra Bnei Ammon, and I went to fight with Bnei Ammon, and Hashem gave them in my hand. Basically, he's telling them, I am risking my life for you guys, for the whole Kal Israel, and you guys are coming and fighting with me, telling me why this, why that. Why did you guys come to me to fight? You coming with your army? At least, they could have sent a couple of messengers, like what they did to Gideon, a couple of scream at him, and that's it. Now you're coming with the whole army, right? So, basically, what happens here? Pointing fingers to each other. Right? With Gideon, they pointed fingers at him. He then said, okay. He put his head down. No, you guys are great. I'm nobody. Everything calm down. With here, they pointed finger at him. He pointed finger at them. Right? It's your fault. It's your fault. Now what happened? The war broke down. Like both Yiftach et kol anshe Gilad. So Yiftach gathered all the people of Gilad. Vayilachem et Ephraim, and had a fight with Ephraim. Unfortunately, it was a civil war. And who? The two Menashe and Ephraim that everyone says that they were like supposed to be always peace between them. The two brothers Menashe and Ephraim, right? Very unfortunate. That's what happens when Machloket starts. Pointing finger at each other, no one comes down.
But what's the logic of fighting? Why fighting?
They came, they deserved it according to Mephashim. Bnei Ephraim, they deserved it.
They have so many enemies.
Why
fight each other?
Exactly.
I mean, we have it nowadays also between.
The problem was Ephraim, because according to Gideon, they were Mored B'Malchut. We say the Shofet is like a king in this sense. It's one of the things we remember, we compare. Whoever rebels against the king deserves to die. These guys rebelled against him and told him, we're going to burn your house. What is he going to answer them? Okay, so basically they went to war. Vayaku anshe Gilad et Ephraim, and Gilad, they smite the people of Ephraim, they beat them up. Ki amru pelitei Ephraim atem, because they told them, you are leftovers of Ephraim. You see, they insulting each other, right? Gilad betoch Ephraim, betoch Menashe. Gilad is part of Ephraim and Menashe. So basically, embarrassing them, right? That's one of the another reasons that they deserve to die, because embarrassing their friends in public. It says in the Gemara, it says Noach lo la'adam. Right? It's better for a person to go to Kivshana Esh, to go to the fiery furnace, than embarrassing his fellow. From where do we learn this? Tamar, right? When they wanted to kill Tamar, they said, bring to burn her. She was ready to be burned and not embarrass Yehuda. All she did, send him some hint. She could have just embarrassed him in public and say, it was you. So from here you see, embarrassing someone is like basically like a murder. That's what it is compared to. So that's Chayab Mita. They were while Kod Gilad Ed Ma'abarot Hayarden. So Gilad, the army of Gilad, they went and captured the passage of the Yarden. Just remember, Gilad is on the other side of the Yarden. It's on the east side. Ephraim is on the side of Israel, on the other side of it. So they had to pass through the river from a bridge or something to get to the other side. Now that they came with the army there, the army of Gilad went and stopped them from going back. Now they're stuck there. They cut them by the river, right? Ephraim towards Ephraim, to the passageway to Ephraim was blocked by the army of Gilad. So whoever wanted to pass, they would kill him. V'haya ki yomru pelitei Ephraim, when the leftovers of, basically there was war and they lost, and now the ones who want to run away, they want to go back to their home, they would capture them or kill them by that river.
42,000.
When the leftovers of Ephraim, they would say, Bora, let us pass. Vayomru lo anshe Gilad, the people of Gilad would tell them, Ha-Efratiata, are you from Ephraim? Vayomru lo, they would lie. They would say, no, I'm not from Ephraim. I'm just going back to Israel. Vayomru lo, now they would test them. There was a certain test. They knew who is from Ephraim. What's the test? Vayomru lo, emorna shibolet. They told them, please say shibolet. Shibolet is the stalk of the grain, right? With the shin. They couldn't say shin, people of Ephraim, right? Vayomer sibolet. So he would say sibolet. They knew, you gave it away. You are from Ephraim, right? Why this test will say so? Lo yachin ledaber ken. He couldn't properly say this. He couldn't say shibolet. He couldn't pronounce it properly, and we would say sibolet. Ve'achazu oto ve'ishchatuhu. They would grab him and kill him. El ma'aborot ha'yarden, by the passage of the Yarden. By Paul ba'ed ha'im Ephraim arba'im ushnaim alef. So they killed 42,000 people from Ephraim.
That's crazy.
That's how big their army was when they came to fight Iftach, just because he didn't call them to come to war. So we see That was just excuse. Oh, why didn't you call it? They wanted to get rid of it. They came with a very big army ready to fight.
It's crazy.
So,
But these are Jewish people.
Jewish killing Jewish, yes.
It's crazy.
Unfortunately, we'll see a lot of these things happening in these books.
But we see it now also with.
There's another civil war in Shoftim, then in Malachim, forget about it. You don't even want to know. There's Hashem, we get there. All these things we have to learn. And okay, so what is this test? Moshe Rav is a book that says why did they couldn't say Shin? It says because of that parasha of Vayechi that it says sikel et yadav, right? When Yaakov switched his hand and Yosef wanted to stop him, Yaakov said no, right? He said what? Sikel et yadav. Sikel means what? He did it wisely. Right? Ki menashe habechor. That's the pasuk. Sikel et yadav. So he says, you could read it sikel with the shin. Right? You could read shikel. Shikel means he throw his hand. It was accident. But no, they say no, you have to say sikel et yadav. He did it wisely because he wanted to say the Menashe. Sorry, that Ephraim, he put his right hand on Ephraim wisely because Ephraim is better. So they taught themselves and their children, whatever was born, they taught them not to say shin. Always everything with sin. Right? That's why they couldn't say shin anymore. It wasn't part of their vocabulary. You see how much they wanted greatness, that type of greatness, how bad it is, that when they changed the way of their talking, imagine all the prayers, everything, there's no shin in it. Everything they said with sin. Just because of this, to show, we are the main ones. Sikel et yadav. That was so important for them. That's what in that book says about this. And that was the test that eventually got them caught and they got killed. Otherwise they could have passed through. No one would know who they are.
The Ashkenazim do the same thing maybe from here.
No, they say shin. Certain things they tough. That's tough and soft. Instead of tough, this is soft. Okay. Vaishpot Iftach Ed Israel. So this is the end of the story with Iftach. And then it says, Iftach HaGiladi, he judged Bnei Israel Shesh Shanim, only 6 years. He was the leader. Vayomod Iftach HaGiladi, and Iftach HaGiladi died. Veikaber be'arei Gilad. Remember we mentioned this before, but I'm going to say it again for Mr. Satare. Right? Be'arei Gilad means what? In the towns of Gilad. What does it mean? He wasn't buried in one town, he was buried in many towns. That was his punishment. Right? Iftach and Pinchas, they both got punished. Pinchas lost Ruach Kodesh. And Iftach punishment was, here Radak brings it again, here, that's Be'arei Gilad, דרך חודש בזה, שהוכה בשכין, זה היה דרך הדרש, בזה. שהוכה בשכין, he got a disease, כבד, very strong disease, והיה נופל איברים מעיר לעיר. Each limb he was losing in one of the towns. Like he was losing his limbs, they were actually falling off. ובכל עיר שהיה נופל איברו, היה נקבר שם. Any town that is one of his limbs fell, they would bury that limb over there. From this, some bring a proof that if let's say someone loses a limb, has to be buried. Right?
You should bring it back to where the body is. Halakha.
Nowadays they do, right? When let's say Chas v'Shalom, there's a bombing or something, they go pick up all the things and bring them, bury them with them. Right? The whole thing is, the proof is from here that has to be buried. They cannot just leave it, right? וזה היה לו עונש שהרג ביתו. You see, Radak says he killed his daughter. That was his punishment. ולא נשאל על נדרו, and he didn't go to nullify his neder. He had a way out and he didn't do it. And they say, why limb by limb he got this kind of punishment? Midah keneged midah. What's the midah keneged midah? Because he should have brought instead of it. If he would do then that neder, they would tell him, go bring a olah, bring a sacrifice that comes limb by limb. When you bring olah, they cut to pieces and they bring it limb by limb on the mizbeach. So because instead of olah, that's it. He brought his daughter, he killed his daughter, or if you wanted, the other explanation is sent her to live in the mountains without getting ever married or having socializing. That's it. That's a dead also. He got this punishment. Okay, next shofet. You ready for next shofet? Next shofet. וישפוט אחריו את ישראל יפסן after Yiftach. Who was the next shofet? Ifsan, right? Mibed Lechem. I bet you guys never heard this name, Ifsan, right? But it was a very famous person that everyone knows. We'll see soon how we know. Vayilo Shelishim Banim Ushelishim Banot. He had 30 sons and 30 daughters. Shilach Achutza. ואילו שלושה בנים ושלושים בנות שילח החוצה. So he sent 60 girls out, that means married them out. ושלושים בנות הביא לבניו, and 30 ערוס עובד מגן, right? The ערוס מירן תכונה, right? He brought 30 כלות, 30 girls for his sons, מן החוץ, from outside, right? Your daughter you send out, right? Others, your kalla you bring in, daughter. So that's it. Why are we saying this? We'll see soon, because Gemara picks on this. Masechet Baba Batra, we're learning actually with Mr. Balachani in the mornings, and Anasioni. Baba Batra, but we didn't get here to the Daf Tishim Ve'echat, Sadik Aleph. I'm going to tell you exactly what it says once we get to the end of it. So 7 years, Ifsan was the leader. What Shevet was from Yehuda. So from here, Chachamim pick from here that say Ifsan is Boaz. Why? Bethlehem. He was buried in Bethlehem. Boaz, who married Ruth HaMoaviyah. So Ifsan is another name for Boaz, great-grandfather of David HaMelech. So that's how we know he's from Shevet Yehuda, right? Okay, so Masechet Baba Batra says, what's the whole story of 30 boys, 30 girls, send out, send in, bring in? So Baba Batra says that Ifsan had a friend called Manuach. Manuach is right next Perek starts with the story of Manuach. Manuach, the father of Shimshon, right? Masechet Baba Batra said, Ifsan did 60 weddings, which is Boaz. 60 weddings, he never invited his very good friend Manuach. They were like almost best friends or best friends, whatever, friends. He never invited to any of these weddings. Why? Because he said Manuach doesn't have children. So if I invite him, he cannot invite me back. Okay. And then Masechet Berachot Baba Batra it says he lost all his children, all those 60 children in his life. Because of this. Right? Manoach obviously he's like, what's going on? He's inviting everybody in town, he's not inviting me. He had his own cheshbonot why he didn't invite him, right? Because he didn't want him. He said, okay, he's going to come every time, bring me matanot. I cannot bring him back matanot, right? That's one of the reasons. Or he wanted Manoach to pray for children. Okay, whatever it is, his cheshbon was not good. Because you cannot make your own judgments of make other people suffer, even if you have a good kavanah. Right? So he got punished for that also. So that's Boaz. So the whole book of Ruth, right? It should have been written here, but since it's a part of Ketuvim, it's written another. The story is written somewhere else in the Ketuvim. But the whole thing happened in the time of Shoftim. That's how does the book start? Ba'i b'yamei shofet ha-shoftim. That was in the time of Boaz was the shofet, he himself. Okay. Vayishpot acharav. So after Ifsan, which is Boaz, what happened after that?
Why does it say over here that this is Boaz?
Doesn't say. We have to figure. Leaves it up to Chachamim to figure it out. That's the beauty of these books. Okay. וישפוט אחריו את ישראל אלון הזבולוני. Oh, the first shofet from Shevet Zebulun. Right? Usually we don't have so much going on with Shevet Zebulun. We never hear from them. Here is a shofet from Shevet Zebulun, but we don't know anything about him. All we know is how many years. וישפוט את ישראל 10 שנים. 10 years he ruled over Israel. He judged Bnei Israel for 10 years. וימות אלון הזבולוני ויקבר בעליון בארץ זבולון. Okay, he passed away, Elon of Zebulun, and was buried in Alayon, land of Zebulun, in the portion of Zebulun. וישפוט אחריו את ישראל עבדון בן הלל הפירעתוני. Avdon ben Hillel from Piraton, he ruled after him. ויהי לו 40 בנים ו30 בני בנים. He had 40 children and 30 grandchildren. רוכבים על 70 עיירים, and they were all riding on 70 male horses. These were special horses, like rich people would only have them. So this is only giving you this account to show you he was a very important person. He became very important, like 40 children, 30 grandchildren, they're all rich, they're important people, like officers, right? וישפוט את ישראל 8 שנים. So 8 years he ruled over Israel. Again, not much said about him. We don't know much about him. ויעמוד עבדון בן הלל הפרענותי. So he passed away. ויקבר בפרעתון בארץ אפרים. So he was also from Ephraim. You see, פרענותי, that was his town was in the land of Ephraim. So another shofet from Ephraim. So finally Ephraim also got a shofet. Behar HaAmaleki, in the mountain of Amalek. So that's the end of this parak. So we went through a few Shoftim, right, in one parak. The next 4 parakim is going to be talking about the whole story of Shimshon. And then after that, we have 2 stories which it's written by the end of the book, but they say most probably happened during all these years of Shoftim. Doesn't, right? And Mukdam Mochar B'Torah, so they wrote it in the end of the book, but it happened during one of these episodes. Pelegish Begiv'ah, and there's a story of the Achan. Okay, we'll get to it. Bezrat Hashem. Okay, we stop here.